All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
What's going on? I'm frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Talk. I don't know. Welcome us in.
Right.
Can you? I don't know if anybody can hear me.
NorCal Sports Network. Dan's having a little few problems, just like the Giants today. Sort of an amazing thing. Giants coming off a 9-2 loss in game one of the 6-game road trip. And we're here at NorCal to talk more about it. When Dan gets in, we'll go over everything. But yeah, Dan froze for a second. So, you know, it's one of those things, guys. Technical. But yeah, awful way to start the road trip. Awful. I think most frustrating, 4 big errors. You don't really give pitching a chance. Chicago's good. When you give them the extra outs, you know it's going to happen. And, it was sort of what I thought. We keep coming off where we beat the Colorado Rockies at home. It's a lot different when you go to when you face a real good team like the Cubs. You give them extra outs, you're not going to win. So it happens. What are you going to do? But, it's only one game of the road trip. We'll bounce back tomorrow. But like I said, Dan will be here. I'm not going by myself, but it happens. Again, Giants lose 9-2. 9 runs on 9 hits for the Cubs. The Giants 2 runs on a 2-run homer with 7 hits, 4 big errors. So, the matchup, again, another problem where we can't, for some reason, we can't hit against lefties. And, it's going to come to a point where, it's getting a little frustrating. I think we're like now, if I remember right, 2 and 15 against lefties. Robert, against lefties, we're a little league team. That's how bad it's become. We need to change it because teams are going to start going lefties against us because they know we can't hit, that type of lineup. But again, it started off with Boyd for the Cubs and Roop. Chicago, full house like usual there. The first couple innings, it was scoreless until the bottom of the – oh, nope, Dan's still trying to get in. Until the bottom of the third with the Cubs. Swanson walked and then Happ homered to right center to make it 2-0. Cubs were up. And then the Giants bounced right back, which was nice. Chapman got on with a hit and then Matos with a bomb to left to tie it up, 2-2. And then one of the things I get a little frustrated about is, and I talk about this a lot, is called shutdown innings. And that's where the Giants score on the top or the bottom of the inning, the next inning. And we gave up 2 more, and it's frustrating, basically Armstrong scored, Horner and scored on Swanson's swing to the left. And then, everything was okay, only down 4-2, but then the 6th inning, the disaster. Probably one of the worst innings I've seen all year by the Giants, and it happens, I mean, you're going against a good team, errors, extra at bats, can't find the plate, and I think what's a little bit frustrating is, we're not sure what to do with Root now. This is another tough start for him. And of course we bought in Birdsong and Birdsong wasn't much better. But, you got to take all these errors in consideration. I mean, look at Birdsong, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, gave up 5 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, which is really frustrating. And then, of course, gave up a home run. So, it happens. But, I think if you're going to look at a bright spot, maybe Bivens again. Bivens earlier in the year was having problems. He's now bounced back well. But overall, a real bad game. I don't want to use any excuses. The Giants just didn't show up. I don't want to have anything that they flew all the way from California to Chicago. It was a night game. It wasn't a day game. And the Giants, just unfortunately, guys, it happens. 9-2, But again, that sixth inning was probably the worst inning of the year for the Giants. I mean, I've never seen it. It was like, what the hell's going on? And that's what's frustrating. I'm looking at Robert. Robert, what do you mean? There's no problem. Robert, this is now his third straight start where he's had problems. Okay. I don't know if you've watched maybe him, we need these starters to have shutdown innings and to go 5 complete. Okay. And keep us in the game. Again, he only had 2 earned runs. That's because of the errors. You win as a team, you lose as a team. But it's one of those things. The other thing is, hey, Matos, he's been great the last week, bouncing back. Really good to see. But here's the other problem. Oh, hey, here's Dan's back. Ramos, 3 strikeouts. Another 10 strikeouts, guys. Too many strikeouts. Too many strikeouts on the road. 4 errors. You're not going to win. Dan, welcome back. Just sort of giving a little recap.
Yeah, I'm rebooting my computer. I'm on my phone right now. It's something's my computer normally restarts like that. It's taken like 3 minutes for here it comes. So I don't know what's happened. It just froze.
No problem.
I froze like the Giants tonight.
Yeah, it happens. And yeah, the other thing too is one thing is the Giants tried something different with their lineup. You can't have your leadoff hitter strike out 3 times. It's just one of those things, you can't do it. So overall, just a real tough way to start off the road trip, because we're going to be going against another good pitcher tomorrow. And, the one thing is if we lose tomorrow, we can't win the series. And then really when you look at it, in the last 6 games, we're just going to be playing 500 ball. When you win 3 straight, you can't come back, go on the road, and lose 2 straight. So, but frustrating game. Pure lucky that I'm there.
I'm going to sign out.
And I sold them.
No problem. Coming back in with the computer.
Yeah. So, yeah, the one thing about Chapman is he did get 2 hits, but I think, the one thing I brought up with Dan is this is now 4 errors. And there he is, 4 errors in the last 5 games for Chapman. And when your left side of the infield has 4 errors, we signed these guys for their defense and, it just didn't show up tonight. Welcome, Dan. Welcome back.
Yeah. Hey, rough game tonight. And, I thought, when they got down 2-0 and they tied it with the Matos homer, I thought, here we go again. This team has a way of just bouncing back when they get down. And, and then they give up all those unearned runs right afterwards with the Chapman
shutdown innings, man.
I understand that the guy's fast, but you basically took your eye off the ball to look at the runner to see where he's at. He's fast. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Fundamentals.
He's fast, so get the ball and throw it. It's just.
And Dan, aren't you always taught what happens if the ball comes to me? It's basic baseball. If the ball comes to me, I know where I'm going. If it's a ground ball to me, I'm going to second or first or whatever. It's just basic.
Every pitch as a ball player, you're thinking, if it comes to me, what am I doing?
Correct.
Every time. You're because things change. So you look at the situation, you look at the if there's a stolen base, all of a sudden things change. You got to be, if you're the right fielder and there's a ground ball like tonight, if Matos, I was taught as a right fielder, okay, if there's a ground ball to short, I'm racing to get behind second base to be behind in case that throw is errant. I'm there to back it up. So it doesn't go all the way to the wall, to the side, And I don't know what Matos was doing. And maybe he was playing more in right center and he couldn't get there. I don't know. I wasn't there to see the overall, where these guys were positioned, but everybody on every play has a job to do, whether it's hit to you or not. That's the way I was taught. I mean, you look at football, every guy has something to do, even if it's just running a decoy route to keep one cornerback away from the field, the play. You just don't stand there and do nothing. You're either blocking or you're decoying. And in baseball, I would get yelled at, or not. Well, I didn't really play right field in Little League, but our right fielder would get chewed out for that play. Adames overthrow to Koss at second, errant throw. My Little League coach would be screaming at the right fielder, like, where are you? But you're going to have bad ball games. Yeah. And my feeling is if you're going to play bad, just get it all out in one game. Don't distribute it through the whole series. Okay.
Nothing like it.
It's 1 of 162. Whoa. I just looked. I forgot the Knicks game was on. They beat the Celtics tonight.
Yeah, in overtime.
Dang it. Dang, I forgot to watch that. What was I thinking? Watching a stupid Giants game 9-2, and I could have been watching a great Celtics Knicks game. I'll have to go back and see if I can rewatch that. I love a great game. Hey, Buster's birthday today. I got him. I went to Costco. Let me see. I'll have to go up and get the toys. Nice. I actually bought Buster some toys for his birthday, and he loves it. I haven't bought Buster toys in years.
Awesome. He must know. Hey, Dan, by the way, you do know you got the friendly confines in the background, not the Giants.
Yes, intentionally.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Since they played in Chicago, it's
got it.
It's such a great stadium,
I agree.
All I got to do is remove myself like that, and you can see the whole stadium.
Yeah. Now I'm here. I know what Dan.
Isn't that cool?
Beautiful. Yeah.
There we go. So Buster's pretty excited today. I got him some treats, and I got him some stuffed toys with the squeaky thing in there. He's got a cow, an alligator, and a cow and a chicken. He's already chewed up the cow. He's getting into the stuffing of the cow, and he's acting like a pup again. He's 8 years old, and he's actually enjoying playing. I'm throwing it around the house. He's chasing it. It's good to see.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, never. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. Exactly. No, Robert, it doesn't diminish what they've done so far. It's one game, so they're 22-14. You just don't want it to become where that becomes how you start playing baseball. So I chalk it up to just one of those games. You traveled. You just played yesterday in San Francisco. You probably didn't even leave San Francisco till 6:00 last night, and it's close to a 3-4 hour flight. So you probably got into what they finished yesterday at
3:30. They probably flew 5. They got in probably at
I bet
11:00 Chicago time.
They probably didn't get away till 2 hours away, 5:30 maybe.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, okay, let's.
But it wasn't a day game. You remember how the Cubs used to always have day games? This was a night game, so.
I mean, the Giants actually should have if they've got a getaway day, they should schedule their Sunday game like at 12:30 or something.
Yeah, or a noonie. Yeah.
But anyway, so they probably didn't get into Chicago until close to and settled till after midnight, right? I mean, by the time you get to the hotel, everything, it's after midnight. Because if you left at 5:30, that's 7:30 Chicago time. And if it's a 3.5-hour flight, that's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you get off the plane, get bused to the hotel, get settled. It's after midnight. So then you get up, you get a full night's sleep. You could sleep in till 10, 11. But then it takes an adjustment. So always the first day of a road trip or a home game after you played the day before without a day off in between, pretty tough. Hey guys, just think about this. What the Giants have to do is a lot more difficult than, it's all the West Coast teams. It's Seattle's probably the worst, but the Giants, the A's, the Dodgers, Angels, Padres, they have to travel, unless it's a division game, they're traveling far. Think about St. Louis or Chicago or Milwaukee. They got on a road trip. Let's say they're going to Cleveland to play an American League. They're going nowhere, hardly, Or let's say they got to go to New York. It's not a long flight. It's, most of their flights are within an hour to 2 hours, the majority of a Midwest team. I'm kind of surprised that Midwest teams are not better, even though they're not as populated and so they don't have as much money as the New York teams, the Boston and the LA, San Francisco, the big cities, which are on the coast. You would think those Midwest teams, that's why St. Louis has been so good all these years. Good organization, and they don't have a lot of extra travel. I don't know. I'm just thinking, but tonight's game, guys, we never did break down the game, so why don't we do that real quick? And let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Make sure you guys give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. You got a injury situation, personal injury, make sure you give them a call. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. 415-613-9483. So the breakdown of tonight's game brought to you by Chapman Law Group. It's kind of like Speedy Oil, right? There's a change.
There you go.
It's Speedy Oil. We're going to go to the out of town. We're going to break down the game. Brought to you. We need to get a sponsor for the breakdown of the game, maybe. I think that would be a good one. Let's see if we can get a sponsor. All right. Today's breakdown of the game. It started off the scoring in the Cubs' third inning. The first two innings were scoreless for both teams. And then Swanson led off the inning with a double. Lopez grounded out, and then Happ one batter later. Homers, making it 2-0, and that's how the third ended. But right away, the Giants bounced back in the fourth. Lee singles to left. Chapman grounds into a fielder's choice. Lee is out at second, and then Flores grounds out to the pitcher. Fortunately, Chapman got a great jump because if not, that's an automatic double play. Any ball anywhere on the infield, whether it's a slow roller on the grass, a 6 to 8 hopper, or anywhere, Wilmer's out at first, okay? He's not going to – Wilmer – I'm going to go on a limb here and say Wilmer does not beat anything out this year for an infield single, okay? He might get one, but I'm going to say Wilmer doesn't beat anything out, and I'm going to say anything on the ground, as long as you get the lead out at second, you got an excellent chance at a double play with Wilmer Flores at the plate, man. The guy ought to get some training wheels on his feet. Just
reminds me of Mark Hill when he runs. Remember the great Mark Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Cannot be any slower.
Wilmer is so slow. All right, so we've got the breakdown here. Back to it. Matos then homered, tying it up. VR singled after that, but Bailey struck out swinging on was that the high pitch that was away? I think that I'm pretty sure that was the 3-2 count. No, that wasn't it. Okay, and then it remained 2-2 until the very next inning. Bottom of the fourth, 2 unearned runs. Busch strikes out swinging to start the inning. Kelly strikes out swinging, and you're feeling pretty good. And then Armstrong safe on the error by Chapman, and that opened Pandora's box. Horner single to right. Armstrong flying around second base to third. And then Horner steals second. And, looking back at that, if Bailey throws through, the inning might be over. Horner didn't get the greatest jump, and he kind of went in standing up. There was no throw attempted, and Bailey mouthed something over to the bench, and I was trying to read his lips, and I couldn't figure out what he was saying, but I was wondering if he was saying something about Armstrong being too fast at third, and that's why he didn't throw it, or something. There was, or Koss wasn't ready, or I don't know. I couldn't, have to watch it again, but he's still second, and that opens the door for Swanson singles to left and scoring Armstrong and Horner 4-2, and that's really, the game was over because the Giants would not threaten again. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Kelly homered to left, making it 5-2, and then Crow Armstrong singles. Horner grounds into the fielder's choice. Because of Armstrong's speed, he's almost Adames hurries the throw to Koss and overthrows him to the inside of the bag, goes into the right field down the line. Armstrong safe at third, and Horner moves into second. Then Swanson is safe on another error, a chopper to third. Bases are loaded. Then Lopez walks. It's 6-2. Happ hits a sacrifice fly. 7-2. Tucker walks. Bases are full again. And then Suzuki singles. Swanson and Tucker scored 9-2. And that's pretty much how the ball game ended. Lou, tough to give out some stars tonight when you get beat this badly and you play some sloppy infield, but I'm going to go my number one star. I'm going to go I'm going to go with Matos because he drove in the only 2 runs and hit the homer. Even though he did strike out 2 other times, he went 1 for 4, but he's hitting 200, hit the homer. My other stars, I always like to pick 3 because, that's just what we do here. I'm going to go with oh, come on, I'm stretching here. How about if we give our second star to how about David VR for getting a hit and playing good first base, picking some balls out at first base? David VR is the second star, and the third star is what do we got? How about Jung-Hoo Lee? He got a hit. There we go. Everybody else, pretty bad night. Jung-Hoo Lee went 1 for 4 and didn't strike out. His average is down to 303. Remember, it was at 345, 350. Told you guys, don't get too over alarmed. It's not going to keep happening. But he may flirt with 300, but he'll win a batting title, I still believe, at some point in his career. I don't know when. But Lou is either frozen or he's watching a ball game. I'm not sure which one.
No, I was going to wait till you're done. All right, I'll go over my 3 stars. I'm going to give my first star to Boyd, shutting down the Giants. You got to give the opposing pitcher credit.
Okay. Oh, I thought this was the Giants stars. You can always go to the other team.
Yeah, I'm going to give my number 2 star. I thought Bivens, I think Bivens, the last probably 3 starts, he's really sort of turned it around. If you remember the first 2 weeks, it was like, what is this guy doing? His ERA is actually now back to 3.12. I mean, it was up to like
Okay,
7.
yeah,
And then
Bivens, that's
he
right.
didn't pitch
Bivens
much.
did okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And then, I think you got to give Matos. Even though Chapman went 2 for 3 with his 2 errors, that's a big negative on my part. So I'll give Matos. The one thing I did want to point out, I didn't realize when we bought up David VR how bad our AAA is. Does anybody know what he was batting when we called him up?
He was hitting 3-something in AAA.
Oh, okay. They must have shown the wrong thing on TV because they had him at 238. Now, it might have been maybe they meant the minors, and when they meant the majors, maybe, I misread it. But
VR's hitting 250 here, but he was hitting, I want to say 350-ish or something in Sacramento.
Because I saw it when he batted like in the 8th. Maybe it said major leagues, and I saw, AAA, or maybe they had the wrong stat up. I was saying, God, that's the best we have. But, oh, yeah, Dan, that had styling. But, I'll give, Matos my other stars. So we'll go Boyd, Bivens, and then Matos for my 3
there
stars.
We go. All right. That's being a little creative. I like it. I like it. How many subs away from 5,000? Let's see. I have not been paying attention as much to that as I should. I will update that with you right now as I look at the statistics from YouTube. We are at 49.45. We're 55 subs away. 55 subs away from 5,000. Yes. Very good. We need to do a push on that. He was 368 in Sacramento. Thanks, Dallas.
Okay. Maybe they meant 238 in major leagues. I thought it said AAA. I'm sorry. I was trying to do 2.
Yeah, he was. I knew it was over 350. I just couldn't remember. I don't know if Roop actually pitched that bad. Yeah, he really didn't. He got some bad luck, and he had he had guys that would have made outs, and even some of the hits he gave up. But I don't know if Birdsong had a rough outing tonight. He was due for that. I had texted out to a group. I says I felt like he was due for a bad outing. I just didn't know when. Look, no pitcher relief pitch. It happens in baseball.
A lot,
guys. Nobody's going to go 12, 13 innings and just keep pitching zeros all the time they go out there. Eventually, the law of average is going to catch up to them. It's kind of like Buddy Hield going 9 for 11. Well, he was due for a hot streak, and Fred VanVleet was due to cool down. It just happens. It's just guys who are 40% three-point shooters, and when they're shooting 80 or 90, they're going to go the opposite, and they're going to shoot 10 or 20 one game. It's just going to bring them back. So career batting average. Are we talking about VR? Is that his career batting average, 201? Yeah, I think he's talking about VR. On the road too, buddy. Yeah, he usually does it at home. And Dallas says, yes, we are talking about VR's career batting average. Yeah, this is a very difficult team. When you look at the Cubs hitting tonight and you see, well, let's just tell you the Cubs hitting. They struck out a total of 5 times. The Giants 10. One of the factors I was noticing in the game is like the Cubs are hitting the ball, and when you hit the ball, nothing good happens in a strikeout. The only thing that can happen good in a strikeout is if the ball goes to the backstop and you're able to beat it out at first. That's it. But that happens like less than 1% of the time. So, but you hit the ball in play, you see what happens. You're either getting hits or you were able to force 4 errors tonight on the Giants. So, yeah, Philip, that's funny. That's pretty funny.
Hey, Dan, what do you think about? I thought I heard a stat today. We're now 2-14 against lefties, and I know we're not going to. I mean,
I
it
don't
just
think
seemed
it's
like we were
that
going
bad. I
against a
think
lefty, a lefty.
I think it's 2-9 after tonight. Not 2-9. They were 2-8, I think, going into the night's game.
Okay,
But that's
worse.
pretty bad, unless you're paying under 20%, you know. Every Cub has 7 home runs already. Some of them are hitting 360. Some of them are on base 550. Some are slugging 1,400. Jacob Wilson. Who has Jacob Wilson? Let me see. My guess is it might be Senior. Let me just take a look. Just by the sheer comment, I'm going to guess that Senior has Jacob Wilson in our fantasy league.
And Dan, you bring up a great point. It's sort of amazing that us and the Cubs have the exact same record. We're both 22-14. You know, they're a team that hits homers, makes contact, great starting pitching. It's just, you know.
Oh, it's Eric. Eric has him. Yeah. Yeah. Giants better at least take 1 in this series. You hope they take 2, but you're not taking 2 if you don't win tomorrow. You'd be lucky if you get out of there with 1 if you lose tomorrow. And tomorrow's matchup is tough. They're facing this
very tough
Colin Ray tomorrow. Tomorrow's pitching matchup is Verlander and OKC beating Denver 60-50 right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not surprising.
It isn't that's something. What was I looking up?
The pitching for tomorrow. And then Dan, I'm a little bit worried about you. I know tomorrow you have the Giant game, you have the Warrior game, and then of course the opening of the WNBA. So I just want to make sure you're going to be okay.
I know, Lou. I am so dang perplexed what to do tomorrow because
you know. I mean, it's one of those things. You're not like me. I have 2 TVs. One, of course, I know will be on the Warrior game, and I know the other
I have
one.
3 TVs, but I
just don't have time for the WNBA. I mean, Glenn telling me the whole season's sold out. That's not correct. Opening day is sold out. Okay, not the whole season. And
right.
Like I've said, everything. Tell me about how big the crowds are in 2 months when they don't start off right and everything else. I just want to make sure.
I have my ESPN, where you can add teams. Do you think right there I have?
You got
do you
2
think I
with
need
Cal,
to add the
football and
Valkyrie?
basketball.
Should I add the Valkyrie to that? I got Cal football and basketball. Do I need to add the Valkyrie to that?
I am so sick of them advertising tomorrow, the opener. I mean, I even wrote my buddy Vern Glenn.
Senior's gonna write add the A's. Maybe I should add the A's.
A's win tonight. They're 3 games over 500. Who knows? They might have a better record than us when they come here a week from Friday.
Let's
There we go.
Look at that. Now I just added the A's.
There you go.
I need to add. Wait a minute. I am a true. Wait a minute. Let me add.
Anthony, he's a Canadian. No one knows about Glenn.
There we go, guys. I am following the Valkyrie for the next maybe 30 seconds before I delete that.
Are you going to go see them when they go to play Phoenix?
No, absolutely not. I went to one WNBA game with my father-in-law back in like 2007, 8, something like that. They had Diana Taurasi.
Very attractive crowd.
And you know how many people were there? Probably I would say there was less than 500 people.
Wow,
And
capacity.
And let's just put it this way. I felt very out of place and very uncomfortable.
I
That
understand.
might give you an idea
Nothing
of
else needs to be said.
what was happening in the stands. I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was extremely weird.
Well, some of the guys in the chat thought maybe you're going to try to get your press pass back for them. So,
oh yeah,
you know,
I felt it's
you
probably
know,
like
help
going
the
into
station out.
you
Yeah.
think you're going into a really nice bar and you go, oops, I'm in the wrong bar. That's what I
Yep.
felt like that. I was just like, this
Yeah,
is weird.
it's crazy. I don't know what these people are thinking.
Now, the Valkyrie have a game tomorrow night? No, not in San Francisco.
Opener.
Or in San Francisco?
Yeah, they open. It's their opener against LA, the Sparks. In fact, unfortunately, I had a huge breaking news, and these idiots, KPIX said, exciting news. They announced who's going to be doing the play-by-play. And I wrote Vern, I go, Vern, nobody cares. Not one person I know cares about the Valkyries. I know you guys are part of them. In fact, I think it's going to be done local. You know, give them 2 months, because people think it's like Warriors basketball. It's not. It's slower. It's hard to watch. They're not good. It's going to be bad. And within 2 months, you know, and the tickets are expensive. I don't know why they're so expensive. It's not a great product right now. So,
A's win 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. They'll be in first place. Do you know that the Warriors start tomorrow night at 6:30, and the Valkyrie in their, what do you call it? Their inaugural, their franchise opening,
home opener.
And are you telling me it's sold out tomorrow?
I haven't seen it. I heard the only game that's been close to selling out is against Indiana. But the first game, new franchise, doesn't surprise me. But games 2, 3, 4, probably, you know, you can get tickets. But the tickets are expensive for Chase. People, you know, they're so used to the Warriors.
Oh, no question. I would rather watch an arena football game. No question. At least there's some action.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you'd have some action that would be, and some scoring. I know that.
And Dan, 2-0 A's, top of 3. 2-0 A's.
Beautiful. So yeah, Valkyrie should be playing at Kezar Stadium. That Champ Ross. That's great. I love it. You know, they're playing at Chase, and you're going to tell me what would be hilarious is if they put the Warriors game up on the big screen and everybody was just watching that. But
yeah, I think they're only going to show it outside. You know how they have Thrive City?
Yeah.
To watch the game. I mean, again, you didn't know the playoffs, how it was set up. You have your opener. I mean, you know, the Cow Palace would have been better. It's smaller. I mean, people don't realize how big Chase is, guys.
Bull riding or WNBA? Bull riding.
Bull riding for sure.
Bull riding. Throw me something that might make me watch a WNBA game. Yeah. I don't think you could ever get me into an arena for a WNBA game. I think it'd be like Weekend at Bernie's. You'd have to drag me in there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not even a big fan of Caitlin Clark. You know, I think she was great for college, but you know, you get all these idiots. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA people wouldn't be watching. They wouldn't be making any money, even though it's so small. But when you get these guys, the pros saying, my God, we should get paid like the NBA, or we should get paid how much people don't realize the WNBA the last 8 years has lost money. And it's only that the WNBA in existence. That's why they all play in Russia or Europe. Thing. They don't make anything because why?
Oh, Weekend at Danny's. There we go. WNBA or cornhole? Oh, cornhole all day long. I play cornhole. I am actually, you know, I have lost one time, and I played probably 75 games. I've only lost once in cornhole. And I lost to my wife. She beat me once. She's pretty good, but she's got a nice, good toss. But man, man. Oh, there we go. Paint dry. Paint dry. If you're painting your home, it can be pretty exciting watching the colors go up. It actually, when you paint, aren't you like, ooh, that's a fresh coat. I'm ready to put a second coat on there. Is it dry? You're kind of feeling like when you start painting and it gets going, you're kind of like ready to get that second coat on because you're feeling like, hey, we're improving here. The house is looking nicer. That's a beautiful color. Yes, I would rather watch paint dry. Because, something when paint's drying, you can enjoy the beauty, the color. So, like my house, I could take you a tour on the house. I've got 3 different colors. I've got accent walls on my house. In fact, I'll just take you to the room right now. Let me see if I can. Hold on here. Let's see if we can do this. A little tour. Hold on here. We might lose the mic. Well, we can take the mic with us. All right. Here we go. Okay. This room's white. I didn't paint this room. But we have the tan walls there. Okay. We have the tan walls, and we have Buster's doggy door right there. There's his cow that he was chewing on today for his birthday. And as we rotate, this is Buster's couch. This is Buster's room when we leave. He can go outside. We put a little gate up there. And there's a green accent wall. See that? Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm much more into paint drying. Yeah. And then we can move out through the rest. But hey, there's Buster boy. Hey, happy birthday, buddy. Huh? Yeah, you the birthday boy? Hey, sit. Okay, good boy. Lay down. You don't want to lay down. Just sit. Where's your squeaky toy? Let me get it to squeak. Hold on. Let's get this squeaky toy. Did you get the squeaker out of there? Yeah, that's the mic. You want to say hello? Hey, we could get Buster to sing here. Let's see if we can get this. Oh! Come on, say hello to everybody, Buster. Woo! This show is going downhill fast. Okay,
I was going to say, this is a high note of the show.
There we go. You know what? If you, on a 9-2 loss, if you can't have a little fun, then what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And the Padres just won at Yankee Stadium.
Dallas, I think I can guess the score of the Giants game by the content of this program. Yeah, this show has gone downhill fast. But you know what? English lab, that's why Buster Boy was hard for you. He's looked like a Canadian lab hunting dog. No, Buster is actually half English, half what you would call American. He's a little taller, but he's not. Like the English labs are short and stocky. That's what Faith was. Faith was a true English lab. Bo was all American. He was tall and lanky and fast. Oh, it's all Cliff Martinez's fault. Welcome back, Cliff. Cliff was out in St. Louis Friday night for Game 6 of the St. Louis Blues Winnipeg Jets. Man, that was a tough loss. That might be one of the toughest losses in sports, what the Blues went through last night.
Game 7, yeah.
They were up and they gave up the tying goal with 1.7 seconds to go.
Seconds,
Jets
they actually had two empty netters. They pulled the goalie twice.
Empty net goals.
Scored.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Yep. American Lab, way more energy. Boy, that's why Bo is hard. Exactly, Anthony. He was too wild, and he needed to go to a younger home that I could handle because he needed a lot of extra pick.
Thanks, that? Mark, for the update. Not the Sharks get the second overall pick. They don't get the number one, but it's about 5 deep this year. So as long as you're in the top 5,
did they have the worst record in the NHL this past year?
Or they had the chance to get the number one, but they didn't get it.
I
think it's sort of fixed, to tell you the truth, because the Blackhawks should have gotten probably the number one 3 years in a row, and they always get number 1, 2, 3. So it happens.
Yeah, playoff hockey is really great. I mean,
it's the best of all the sports.
It is. I'm not a huge hockey fan like Cliff. I understand the sport, but I love watching the playoffs. I'm not a regular season hockey guy. I don't even know. I probably shouldn't even become much of a regular season NBA guy too, because they're 2 different seasons.
Yeah,
they're just totally different games. I mean, they call nothing in the playoffs.
And Dan, let me tell you something. One great thing about the Shark Tank, when the playoffs happen, it goes to another level. But I've been to I saw when we knocked out Toronto when we were the 7th seed and we beat Detroit. I tell you, the Shark Tank can rock with the best of them when they're in the playoffs, and that's what's so frustrating. We sort of went for it and had some bad contracts, but they're a couple of years away, but it'll be all right. So no, Cliff, I know it's live. I'm just saying. Oh. It's sort of
Anthony
frustrating.
Has 2 second hunting lab, got him run twice a day. Yeah, you have to run. I was running him and throwing the ball and taking him out and every day and doing it, and he was just going. And but anyway, so A's, what's the score now with the A's game?
2-1. They 2-1, and Seattle's got runners at first and third, 2 outs.
How about if they win? The A's win 5-4, 6-3. That's all I care.
All right.
Well, I mean, all I really care is that the game
total.
They get 9 runs. But
hey, you got 3. You got 3 in the and it's still the third. So let's keep it going.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Like and sub, everybody. That's right. We are 55 subs away from the magic 5,000. Let's see. We might be down after that last video run of.
They were taken back.
We might have dropped below 4,900 after that stunt of having me howl. Oh, we're still there. We're still there.
Yeah. All right. And Mark Graves, that was completely fixed when the Warriors had the worst record and they wound up not getting Ewing. And then Nick somehow did it. Changed basketball for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But, you don't worry about it. We wouldn't have had the championships we have recently. So we'll take them. It happens. By the way, Dan, a double 2-2, still top of 3.
2-2. Okay.
A base hit away of being 4-2.
Yeah, there we go.
So we got a few runs up, which is nice.
Yeah, the NHL. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we do a little different before we get out of here? Let's rank the playoffs. What sport has the most? What do you enjoy?
It's not even close. NHL playoffs are the best of all major sports, hands down. It's not even close.
All right, you think they are, but what do you enjoy watching the most?
I enjoy hockey. It's amazing. You've never seen atmospheres. Home field doesn't really mean anything, even though the place is rocking. It's really about goalies. It's undescribable, and you ask anyone, baseball playoffs are okay, but it's every round of NHL. It's crazy. I mean, there's nothing better than a game 7, and it's true. I mean, if these guys, especially guys from the East Coast, they'll swear by it. So I think it's.
Oh yeah, you had to get one of those launchers. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go out to the park that's right by my house, and I always see a brown lab named Whiskey. He's out there every day, and the lady has one of those launchers as well.
3-2 Seattle, Dan. 3-2 Seattle. Still top of 3.
Okay, well, I'm almost there. 4 more runs in the game. Chocolate Lab, named Whiskey. The dog's name is Whiskey, and Buster loves to go out and play with Whiskey. But Buster doesn't like to chase a ball. I don't know why. Even though that Whiskey dog is an English lab, Buster just isn't into the balls, chasing them. So going back to I'm going to rank. I don't know if there's anything more exciting than the Liberty versus the
Storm.
Yeah,
last year's final.
I mean, I think that that final that was like whatever. Oh yeah. No, I am gonna say
23 straight shots in the finals. Nobody even it hit the rim
twice. I think the playoffs go like this.
4-2 now. 4-2.
Wow. Playoffs is amazing. I really enjoy watching the NFL playoffs because especially wild card weekend, there's so many games, you get like 6 games or something. Yeah, I can't name 2 WNBA teams. I know that there's the Fever now, right? That's Caitlin Clark. And then you've got the LA Sparks. Storm or Spark? Yeah, Sparks. Where's the Storm located? Chicago?
Seattle, I think.
Seattle. Okay.
Storm.
All right. Now I know you got the Valkyrie and you got the New York
Liberty, right?
Oh, Liberty. Okay. And I couldn't tell you. Oh, you got the Phoenix Mercury. Yeah. You got the Mercury. I couldn't tell you who the rest are. Oh, absolutely, Dallas. I've been to NFL playoff games, and I went to one of the greatest NFL playoff games, lost my voice. It was the Green Bay Packers against the Arizona Cardinals. It was a 51-45 overtime victory for the Cardinals. And it was, I was pulling for Green Bay, but, it's so much better just to sit in front of your TV and watch the whole action and you're comfortable. You don't have to have somebody, spilling a beer on you or a fight breaks out right around you and you don't know if you're going to get in the middle of it. I always remember I went to this game and there was this guy like literally right behind me. And the whole game, he was a Latin guy, Spanish, Mexican. I'm not sure. He goes, "Let's go Cardinals. Let's go Cardinals." It was like Cardinals, not Cardinals. He was just like, "Let's go Cardinals." That was like over 15 years ago, and I could still hear the guy's voice. "Let's go Cardinals." The whole stinking game, man. I was just like, oh my gosh. Me and my son still joke about it today. We'll go, all of a sudden one of us will go, "Let's go Cardinals." But I much rather, I don't know if it's as I'm getting older, I just enjoy sporting events on TV more. But baseball, I love to go to the yard because with baseball, it's a slower paced game. You can enjoy, you can chat, it's until it gets close. It's a playoff game. It's usually not that intense unless it's a real meaningful game down in September or it's the playoffs. You're just kind of kicking back and you can chat and you can enjoy your friendships, with your friends or family and just chat, right? I mean, football's intense and you got a bunch of idiots around you the majority of the time in football. There's more idiots in football around you. And then of course you got a lot of idiots at Dodger Stadium. You don't get too many idiots at Oracle. You get a lot of casuals, but you don't get a lot of idiots.
Well, a lot of idiots that do the wave and they do it the wrong way. That's idiot material.
Yeah, but at least they're not, fighting like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You were at that playoff game when the doggone, who was the kicker for the Giants that made that? It was like a 41-yarder. Gosh, that was after the Roger Craig fumble. The Niners were driving and had the game won. Really, all they had to do is
hold the ball,
field goal, and it would have been 16-12, and nobody scored a touchdown that I recall.
No, and we would have won it. What would that have been? 2 years in a row we would have won the Super Bowl, or three?
Three. They would have been the third
would have
year
won three
to the Super Bowl. They would have.
I
don't know if they would have won it. Steve Young would have had to go up against Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
And that was the first year Buffalo played. And that was the closest Buffalo ever came. Remember?
That was way to the right.
To the right. Norman.
Yeah.
What was his, wide Norman?
Wide right.
Yeah. Yeah, dang. I've had a few of those wide rights myself as a field goal kicker. That's, geez. But NFL playoffs, Red went to best playoff experience 2011 versus the Alex Smith, Vernon Davis show. That was that might have been the greatest 49er just game as far as playoff game, even though they won some NFC championships.
I can't say it better than the catch.
Yeah, the catch was the greatest, of course. But that game had it all, man. This game, and then probably the wild card game when Owens caught it against the wild card game. Remember, it was against Green Bay. Yeah, do you remember the call? You know who was on the call for the 49ers?
Was it Starsky again?
Joe Starkey. Owens.
Yeah.
Owens. That's Joe Starkey. That was unbelievable.
So, and if you remember that game, why it was so dramatic is Owens had I think it was 7 drop balls that game.
Yep, and then he hung on to that one.
And he caught the one that he should have dropped.
I'm forgetting all these. The Niners have had some unbelievable playoff games.
Oh, last year, when they were down, they should have lost. Yeah. They should have lost both playoff games.
Yeah, both games were dramatic, coming back to beat Green Bay, and then that Detroit. What were they down, like 21 against Lions at half, something like that? 24?
Yeah, it might have been like 28-3. I mean, it was bad.
It was nuts.
And it was at home.
Yeah. Stadium was at halftime. We're down 17, and then first person on the field at half was Moody, and he missed 3 straight warm-up kicks. Oh, hey, speaking of field goal kickers, Justin Tucker got released by the Baltimore Ravens today. He's involved in some kind of
I saw they got the kicker from Arizona, who's a stud. Yeah. So he's got internal problems.
What round did that kicker get picked?
I think it was fifth or sixth. Might have been sixth.
Let me take a look. What was the kicker's name?
Unlike when we got Moody, didn't we? Was Moody the first or second round? I mean, we were that dumb.
Third round. What was the name of that kicker that Baltimore picked?
God, I mean, he was like 17 for 19, 50 beyond. Let me take a look.
I heard didn't the Niners sign a pretty good kicker in the free agency? Undrafted free agent?
I can't remember.
The Ravens drafted Tyler Loop. When was he drafted? I thought it was the 5th round or 6th. I think it was the 5th, though. Tyler Loop draft. Let's see. Where ins? Come on.
This goddamn.
If you don't say the right thing, it doesn't. Tyler Roop was in the 6th round.
6th round.
I'm going to look at the NFL draft because who did the Niners? Didn't they sign some free agent kicker out of college that was supposed to be pretty good?
Yeah, I'm not your producer, Ryan, that, has a whole sheet of all the free agencies that didn't get drafted. I don't really worry about the NFL until next week when the schedule is released. Dan, are we doing something with the schedule release? It goes next. What is it? Next Thursday, the schedule release for the NFL. That's exciting. I'd rather watch that than WNBA game.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that should be fun. Next week, see the NFL
release the schedule. Yeah.
All right. Let's check this guy out. Kenny Almaderas or something like that is who they signed. Kenny, did anybody write that in the chat? I don't see it. OKC's up by 7 now, huh? Ravens' new kicker is Tyler Loop, who was drafted in the 6th round.
Out of Arizona.
When did the 49ers draft that quarterback, Rourke?
6th round, right?
7th. Not sure. Let's Kenny Almaderas. Longest field goal was 53 yards. He missed 53, 54, and 60 in his final 3 seasons. Almador, a native of Honduras, went 38 of 40 from inside 40, was 17 of 22 from 40 to 49. What? That's all? And made 5 of 8 from 50 plus.
Where did he attend?
They're saying he was the top kicker in the NC2A last year.
Division 2?
I don't know. Let me get out of here, stinking Chronicle. Where is this? I'm trying to find it. Louisiana, where'd he go? Louisiana Tech or something, maybe? I don't know. Where'd he go? Where is this? What? Yeah, Louisiana Raging Cajuns.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Louisiana, okay. Louisiana Lafayette, yeah, their competition's pretty weak.
I'll bet you Moody beats him out.
Of course, they're paying Moody.
Yeah.
Your boy Chardal wanted you to comment on his comment.
Let me take a look, Chardal. Where is your comment? I was watching the kicker. Giants need to lock down third. Giants and Padres are both superior teams. I agree. Lou, I sent a super. Let's check it out. Mark Graves. How many? Oh, we already did this one. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. We're 55 away. Chardall. Hi, Dan and Lou. How you doing tonight? Tough loss to the Giants 9-2, and I called the game live, and I really love all your content and video. You called it live? That must have been hard. Jeez.
Oh,
Man, you should have had a pizza in between innings. All right. Member for the last 5 months. Start all a member. We should just.
And Dan, you froze again, just so you know. I see it in Mark Graves.
Oh, I'm frozen. Again, what's going on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
All right. You just see my mug there just frozen. All right. Let me see what I can do. Let me see. I'm frozen. I can tell. We hear you. You just have an annoyed. What is that? You have an annoyed
look on your face because it's frozen. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me. What the heck's going on with my camera? Let me remove myself and see if I can do that.
Aaron, you bring up a great point. Oh, come on, Joe. Frozen Dan is nice. Come on, guys. Hey, guys. Remember, we missed a couple of you guys last night on the Hot Corner. We're going to be doing it again next Sunday. We have another squares for a charity for a young lady that needs our help. So just so you guys know, it's going to be a Friday night game. And it's for a great cause. Next Sunday on the Hot Corner. Make sure you guys join us at 8 o'clock. So, Mark Graves, Lou, are you selling World Cup tickets even though I can't afford them? Yes, my company is. In fact, we just sold 2 suites at MetLife. And then a couple months ago, we sold one in Atlanta. I am waiting for Santa Clara. I have access to a couple in Santa Clara through season ticket holders, but the tickets for World Cup, people, are literally 2 tickets or more than my Giants season tickets. That's how expensive some of these tickets are. I don't know how people are going to afford them, but they're going to go just like get-ins, which will be upper level. And remember, USA is playing in LA twice, and then I think they're playing in Atlanta once. But yeah, we're not even getting. I don't even know if we're even going to get someone like Mexico. That hasn't been determined where everyone plays except the home teams, USA. And get-ins, from what I heard, are starting. The worst seats possible are like $380 plus fees. That's right, $380 for the worst seats. So, nothing you can do. It's crazy. Now, not 100,000 or better for 2. It's not that expensive. I'm just saying for just to get in at Santa Clara, the worst possible seats, very, very last row, start off at $380 plus fees. So,
I don't know what's going on.
All right, no problem.
This camera has died. I'm using my camera on my laptop, I guess. I don't know. The USB stopped connection with this, and every time it does, it freezes me up. So that's why something to do with this puppy. Might be time to replace it. It's called a Logitech. It's not very logical to me. It's not working.
It's useless. It's not working.
It's not working. Yeah. All right, guys, let's get out of here. We've been going an hour and 9. So Giants take it on the chin big time tonight, 9-2. But you know what? I said you're going to have games like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're going to play crappy, you might as well just get it out of your system and just, sometimes I think I'd rather lose 9-2, Lou.
Yeah.
Than lose the way they lost. I definitely would rather lose 9-2 than lose the way they lost to the Angels that Sunday
Oh yeah.
when they had a 4-1 lead in the ninth and they got walked off 5-4. Those things irritate you. These games, you just go, it was a bad game. Bounce back tomorrow.
And Dan, 4-3 now. Mariners bottom of 4.
Love it. I need 2 more runs and I'm a winner chicken dinner for the.
Yeah, just trying to help you out.
I've only missed one game in all my bets in Sacramento. I've taken the over every time and it's only gone under once.
Yeah, I've been betting the opposing team on their team total. It's been over 2.5 over 3, so I'm going to keep doing it.
All right, guys. If you want more Giants talk, go on over to Eric and Glenn.
So, hey, Dan, so tomorrow with the Giants game, are we doing a post game with the NBA game, with the Warrior game going, or are we going to wait until...
no. Wait a minute. No, we won't be. We won't be. In fact, I'm getting some requests that we do our own Warriors post game show.
Yeah, I heard it was sort of brutal last night.
Yeah. So I think we'll hop on at about 9:00. Warriors start at 6:30.
And we'll talk about a little of both. I got it. Hopefully 2 W's.
Yeah. That will be let's see. Hold on here. Let me put that up here. How do you spell that? Valkyries, by the way.
VALKERIES. And before you sign off, Aaron has just a last question for you.
What time's that Valkyries game? 7?
I assume, yeah.
Okay. We'll get that. Definitely we will be ahead on that one. I would say 9:30 Valkyrie. Hold on. I got it right here. There we go. All right. We've got it. Special announcement, everybody. Special announcement. Valkyries postgame. May 6th, 9:30. 22:57. Okay. Be prepared for it. Valkyries postgame only 127 years from now. I'm very confident none of us will be around to see it.
I was hoping never, but at least you have a date set up, probably because the sponsor wanted it then.
I had to pick it far enough out so I know nobody will be around to see it.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, go watch more Giants. If you want more Giants, it's out there tonight over Eric and Glenn are doing it.
Show. Yeah.
What time do they start? Did they start at 8:30? Let me see.
I don't know if they're on.
Oh gosh, we forgot to do squares, did we? You just did it.
No, we talked about it. I thought we were going to. I don't know if we're
buy
doing
the squares
each show or we're just doing it in Hot Corner. It's up to you guys.
No, we're going to do it each show. We need to promote it so it gets done. Let me just look in here and see if here we go, guys. Let me get rid of the banner.
We should have a competition between both shows.
Yeah, guys, exactly. We got to sell some tickets over here. $20 per square, and it goes for a great cause. This young woman, 20 years old, rare form of
liver cancer.
and Sunday night on the Hot Corner, we'll have her
Best friend.
to talk about her best friend. And we're raising $2,000. All you got to do is buy a square. You can use that Venmo account or Zelle, and that's how the money will get paid, either through Venmo or Zelle. Just take a screenshot of that. What do you call that? QR code.
Yep.
Okay. And that will take you right to Ibrahim Khan, who's the treasurer, setting all this up. What we're doing is we're going to go ahead and front the money and just pay it out. So it's done.
The girl that's coming on, her name is Kennedy, is going to come on, and we're going to give her the 2,000 on the Hot Corner.
Right.
As a gift. But, it's a Friday night game. What's nice is whoever wins it gets to decide, because we do know it's the summer, and I don't want someone to actually decide, hey, I won the thing, and you're out of with summer and school, everyone's different. So you either have August 8th or you have August 29th. We will get you on the field again, name on the scoreboard. I'm going to try to get parking too, so if you drive in. But, hey, it's for a great cause, 4 tickets. Hopefully, you never know. The Giants hopefully in first place, a rocking Friday night, Orange Friday. And
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So make sure you get the is the ticket sale separate from donating to GoFundMe? Yes.
That's how you pay for the squares. Oh, it's just funding. Sorry, Dan.
You want to pay for the squares directly this way instead of going on GoFundMe, because the money because Ibram needs to be reimbursed.
Yeah. And we're going to put it from both of ours, Hot Corner, both things, give GoFundMe.
Oh, NorCal Sports Network and Giants Sports Talk Live. Yeah. So
both
we'll get this
donating it.
Yeah. You can buy up to 5 guys. The tickets are worth about $1,000 combined, 4 tickets. They're right. If you haven't seen the tickets, this is your seats right there. You're looking in literally in the front row, looking into the Giants dugout right there. So
great if you have kids. Last year's winner I got to meet. It's pretty unbelievable. And you get to go on the field for batting practice. It's really cool.
Oh, Mark donated to GoFundMe. Okay. All right. So all right. Anyway, make sure you guys get the squares, and let us know if you want any squares, what number you want. I'll get that information over to Eric, and he'll update that square board, the numbers. So, and then we'll be drawing here probably. Well, as soon as we sell them out, we'll do the drawing. Hopefully within a few weeks on a Sunday night. All righty. So let's get out of here. Thanks.
And then Anthony, I see that I'm a little confused on that. Is Genentech going to match the 2,000 for the GoFundMe page? So in other words, if we give in 2,000, is Genentech going to match it? And if it is, thank you very much. That's awesome.
Wait a minute. I might even Genentech to match what my lady puts in on the GoFundMe for it. She works there. Okay. Maybe it's just whatever she puts in.
I'm not 100%. Yeah.
That's sure.
Awesome. Just make sure before you go to the GoFundMe page, give it to us so we can put a group, all the money together from both of our stations, all in one. Like we had a guy last night who says, hey, I want to help out. I can't go to the game, so I'm going to give you $50 to Venmo. And then, instead of 2,000, we were going to put in 2,050. I'm actually going to, I had a very good Kentucky Derby, so I'm actually going to buy 5 squares. I'm going to put it under the horse's name, and I'm just going to donate it. So whoever wins, if I win it, it's going to go again. But I'd rather, I don't care about my tickets, but I want to help out too. So there's different ways to do it. If any of you guys have a company, and me me and Dan will do this. If you guys have a company that's willing to match or they give up for something like that, I will do this. If they want to give the $2,000 for the other game that's not picked, I have no problem with that either. If you have a company that has, has a charity where they're willing to help out something like this, and you come up to me and Dan and say, hey, my company, wants it, and you just want to donate.
You know
I'll
what?
give you the other game.
I'll get this out on Twitter, and I'll see if I can get Marty Lurie to put it out there, and Larry, and we'll see if we can get some more coverage on this with some of the.
And then you guys, one other thing before we leave, next Sunday on Hot Corner, we have Dwayne Kuiper's brother Glenn on. Glenn Kuiper.
So will
don't forget,
he's
going to be our guest.
He's joining the show.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And Tommy Huxley donates $2, says they played like Little League team tonight. Yeah, they did. They felt like they had to give a game back playing like Little Leaguers since they won that game with the Elliot Ramos walk-off Little League home run.
Good call.
They felt like they had to give it back. Let's see. Sac A's tied it up. What is it, 4-4? Is it 4-4, Lou? You're muted. You're muted.
Dan, yes, it's 4-4. You got a winner. Guaranteed
winner. Chicken dinner. There we go. I'm a winner because baseball does not end in ties. Somebody's got to break it. And the over-under was 8.5. So I am a winner. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. That's a good way to head out of the show. Guys, thanks for being part of NorCal Sports Network. And don't forget, at NorCal Sports Network, we love our Bay Area teams and we support them all except this one. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great night, and we will catch you tomorrow night after Warriors Minnesota Timberwolves game 1, and we will do a breakdown of that and the San Francisco Giants Chicago Cubs game 2. So everybody have yourself a wonderful except, well, that's all right. Oh, wow. 79 degrees up in Sacramento. Light breeze. Love it. Who wouldn't want to be watching baseball in Sacramento instead of San Francisco? I'm telling you, man, if Sac gets a real team, I mean, not a real team, but a full-time, and they get a stadium, look out, because would much rather watch that. But hey, there goes the music. It's going to start again, and then we're going to end it here. So guys, thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow night. Everybody have a fantastic Tuesday tomorrow. Take care.